What's up, guys? The long awaited signing of John Klingberg has finally happened. We finally have John Klingberg who signs a 1 year deal, surprisingly, for $7 million. So Klingberg does, in fact, get paid. But the thing is that he only gets a 1 year deal. And we all know that he was one of the biggest sought out free agents this year in 2022. But people were questioning why he didn't sign yet. What was going on? What was happening? He at one point was basically um, not infatuated with what Dallas was doing. He didn't want to be part of the Dallas Stars. He requested a trade, but they kept him on as a playoff rental. So he heads into the playoffs with the Dallas Stars. They get eliminated in 7 games against the Calgary Flames, and then he was set to hit the market. He was in negotiations with Dallas on and off, but ultimately, he thanked the organization and said, "You know what? I'm gonna move on from the Dallas Stars and sign with somebody else." So the one that broke the news today was Kevin Weeks. He was saying he stated, obviously, as he normally does in random spots, that the Ducks were closing in on a 1 year deal with UFA John Klingberg for $7 million. So his analytics right now, you can see right here, he's a top four offensive defenseman who's one of the best puck moving defensemen in the game, but struggles a lot defensively. So the Ducks here are getting a very offensively minded player. They're not getting a guy that is going to throw his body a lot, block some shots, be a contributor on the penalty kill. He's a guy that's going to be on a first line power play unit. Um, so in terms of what other people were saying, finally John Klingberg signs a contract. Um, Here you have Felix Sincard, who's saying that he's an all-out offensive defenseman who will bring a dramatic up tick to the Ducks power play. At 1 year, 7 million, he brings a significant upgrade to the Ducks right side and makes them all that more entertaining. You have Gravite, who's saying that Nazem Kadri seeing John Klingberg only getting a 1 year deal, so panic mode is on, I guess. So last year in 74 games, he had 6 goals and 41 assists. We all know that John Klingberg did, in fact, change agent. So we're going to take a look into that. Yeah, so right here, Frank Saravelli stated on July 27th that that Klingberg parted ways with his agent Peter Wallen, and that he was represented now by New Port Sports Management, which ultimately helped him get that deal. In terms of Klingberg's stats and the type of player they're getting, obviously we said he's offensively minded, but at 6'3", 190 pounds, he has a total of 374 points, 71 games, 303 assists in 552 games, which is obviously impressive for a defenseman. He is a 40 to, I would say, 50 player type of player. He's not going to get like 60 to 70 points, even though he's done it once back in 2017, 2018 season with the Dallas Stars. He hit the 67 plateau, so he passed 60 points. But in terms of that, his production has been a little bit inconsistent at times, some, dipping down to the 30 points in a season, then 47. He started very strong with the Dallas Stars in his first 5 years, and then you saw kind of a significant dip a little bit. Um, and in terms of where he could fit on the Ducks line up, so you have Count Fowler, Jamie Drysdale, Euro Vakanainen, Kevin Shattenkirk, Josh Mora, and Simon Benoit. So if I'm not mistaken, John Klingberg plays the left. Oh, he plays the right side. Okay, so he's a right-handed defenseman. So I would see him leapfrog Kevin Shattenkirk, who would move down to a third pairing role. Ultimately, Benoit is the man out. He's going to be a healthy scratch. He's going to be in and out the lineup. But Shattenkirk had a very impressive season last year, too, with the Ducks. He was one of their best defensemen, even though the Ducks failed to make the playoffs. So, right now you have Cam Fowler, Jamie Drysdale, Euro Vakanainen and Klimberg instead of Shattenkirk in your top four, and the fact that Shattenkirk is playing as a third pairing defenseman, the Ducks' right side is going to be very, very strong, very deadly in terms of the right side of on defense. Obviously, you look at their offense. They have Zegras, they have Henrique still and Troy Terry, but you have Mason McTavish who's making the jump from the juniors to the NHL roster of the Anaheim Ducks, but they've added Frank Vertrano and Ryan Strom to the mix, who are fantastic players, guys that are obviously going to push the needle in terms of the Ducks' progression this year, and potentially, maybe they could be competing for a wild card playoff spot. But then again, they could surprise, and maybe they actually do not get a wild card spot, but maybe they finish top three in their division. So that would be very interesting to see. I just want to see if there's any comments here. So we have Renault saying Ducks have the most cap space in the league. That's why. Well, yeah, I mean, they did have the most cap space, so it does make sense. Signs for only 1 year, so you can sign an 8-year extension with them. Yeah, that's plausible as well. Maybe, and this is my theory, he signs with the Ducks this year. He signs a 1-year deal, right? And once his contract is up, maybe there was a team in particular that he wanted to play for, maybe a contending team, right? So if that team is able to clear cap space by next offseason, or maybe if the Ducks fail to make the playoffs, John Klingberg could become a trade deadline acquisition. He could be used as trade bait for the Ducks. So, I mean, in a Ducks situation, it works because if they make the playoffs, then it allows Klingberg to be more willing to sign an extension long term. But if the Ducks fail to make the playoffs, at least they could get assets out of him. So I think that's very smart in terms of what they can do there. Let's just look at the Ducks um, cap friendly right now, see how much cap they have left. Okay, so right now they still have projected cap space of $25 million. I don't know if that's with Klimberg added. It seems to me that Klingberg has not been added, so reduce $7 million. They're going to be at $18 million, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully my math is correct. Um, so yeah, they have a lot of cap space to play with. So is there a possibility that maybe Nadji could sign for the Anaheim Ducks? I don't know. I mean, it's plausible, but I mean, if you have Ryan Strom down the middle and you have Trevor Zegras already, I wouldn't see how that makes sense entirely. But if he wants to get paid, that's definitely a good fit for Nazem Kadri. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below in terms of this deal. Is this a good deal for the Ducks? Is this a good deal for Klingberg? Yeah, so they're gonna have around $17 million. My bad. So yeah, I would like to have to hear your thoughts essentially on this deal, and I don't really know how to feel about this in terms of Klingberg's position. Maybe a little in terms of how much. Oh, sorry about that. There was a Wi-Fi connection problem. Maybe he's being a little bit stingy in terms of like how much he wants and stuff. But it's definitely interesting to see how this plays out heading to the season, how it plays out in the next offseason as well once he becomes a UFA once again. But I mean, look, it's definitely something that I think happened because he waited too long, and this is like one of the few teams that had a lot of cap space. There's the Islanders, there's Seattle, there's Winnipeg that could have added him. They all have the cap space to make it work. But I guess he goes to the Ducks because they were willing to offer the most money, and they had a lot of cap space. So they said, you know what? Why the hell not? Let's pay this guy $7 million. We have nothing to lose. If we make the playoffs, we make the playoffs. If not, we treat him at the deadline. Um, and for Klingberg's perspective, in Klingberg's position, he's getting paid. He's getting paid $7 million. He was asking for around $6 million, but to get $7 million, I don't know if this is considered an overpayment for him or this is fair value for the player. So I would like to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. That would be very interesting to see. So we also have Renault agreeing with me, saying good point about a deadline deal. 1 year contract helps to trade him. Yeah, exactly. And Kaji should sign with Anaheim. So agreeing with me once again. And Frank Salazar is saying, but why? In terms of but why, it all comes down to cap space for the Ducks, and it all comes down to, I guess, the best contract available for Klingberg. He didn't want to wait anymore. I guess he wanted to participate in training before the season started. He didn't want this to drag on for too long. He got a new representative as well. So I mean, it all makes sense in terms of like why he signed this deal. And but for the Ducks, they're the ultimate winners essentially because they have the most leverage in terms of what they can do with John Klingberg, and he could be very vital in that power play and help them reach a playoff spot. And then we have Renault saying cap will also go up, so all salaries rise next year. So yeah, that too as well. And I'm just going to conclude by saying we have a giveaway once we hit 1,000 subscribers. If we would do before August 15, we're going to announce a winner, and that winner will be able to get a NHL jersey of their choice. So if you haven't subscribed yet, or if there's people that you know that love hockey podcasts in particular, please let them subscribe, or you guys subscribe as well. But I throw you guys a question to end this episode. Do you think Klimberg gets traded by the deadline, or do you think he signs an extension once this deal expires? So, with that being said, guys, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, participate in our giveaway, and we'll see you on the next episode. Hopefully, it's a Nazem Kadri signing.